I want to talk a little bit about what's just been on my mind lately. This idea I've been turning over a lot. The world that we've been living in for the past, I'd say 150 years, was never necessarily designed to last. Our systems have been optimized for speed and profit, and now they're breaking under their own weight. I think it's very important for us in this moment that does feel very unprecedented to remember that history does not necessarily have an end. This is not the end of anything. This is a fracture in the systems that have gotten us here. And in that break, something else becomes possible. This is truly the moment for new blueprints, new frameworks to emerge. I do think that many things about the future are completely undetermined, and whoever decides what comes next is going to be the group of people that has the discipline and the clarity of mind to keep building no matter what happens. I think that's something that I've been circling a lot lately, is this idea that the future is worth building. That's something that I hope to explore a lot on this platform, and I hope that you end up feeling much more energized and with a deeper conviction that the future is still buildable. We have all of this incredible scientific data. We have all of these models and maps. We actually can map out the different scenarios for what the future could hold. And so we are basically being served a menu of options, and it's up to us to pick. But I do think right now there is quite a bit of shutting our eyes and covering our ears, and that is going to arrive us at a version of the future that is perhaps one of the least desirable. We know exactly what challenges the future holds. We can project that for example, in the year 2050, we will have a population of 10 billion people. And it is highly possible that 1 billion people are refugees. Right now, we have 100 million people living in refugee camps all around the world. We do not have a good solution for how we deal with them. Having 3 generations of refugees living in camps outside of Jordan, it is plainly obvious that the way this system is designed right now is not capable of handling even more people, and definitely not 6 times more people. So we have the ability to go back to the drawing board and design a system, an intervention in that system, that provides much more dignity for these people, that keeps cultures intact, that keeps kids in schools, that makes sure that marriages still happen and languages get perpetuated. Or we cannot. We can let the crisis arrive. We can choose to approach the future with fear or complacency and end up fighting over resources, or just constantly stuck in a never-ending cycle of reacting to new disasters as they arrive. Or we can start now designing plans that take care of everyone even when things get difficult. Every system in our society right now breaks under pressure. We are very dependent on just-in-time arrival of goods. We have globalized supply chains for food, and these systems, when any pressure is added from a global pandemic to a fire in one area, just completely break. The really interesting thing, though, about people is that we as communities do the opposite. Floods hit Texas, or there's a fire in California, and all of a sudden, people who, live in this incredibly digital world, don't talk to their neighbors, spend a lot of time inside, isolated on their phones, watching TV, are outside meeting each other for the first time ever, cooking for one another, organizing search parties, and building a sense of community that just was not there before. I think a lot lately about this idea of anti-fragility. The definition of being anti-fragile is that when you introduce shocks into a system, the system actually gets stronger. And if we want to look to nature for an example here, there are many forests that actually depend on wildfire in order to regenerate healthier. Wildfires clear away a lot of the brush. A lot of seeds are actually only activated by the heat of a flame. And when a fire blazes through, the ecosystem actually comes back healthier and more diverse. There's so much intelligence, there's so much wisdom in nature, and we have the opportunity right now to look to nature, to look to communities around the world that are still living in much more coordinated ways. Many people are finding it difficult to feel optimistic or even motivated about the future right now. But this concept, anti-fragility, has been, I think, the thing that's helping me feel actually very energized about the future. Imagining that our systems could be designed in such a way where we're not just bouncing back after a disaster, a setback, a pandemic, but strengthening through them. That's anti-fragile. And that is what this moment is calling us to become. We have options. They're right in front of us. But we can either continue to pretend that the future is none of our business, or we can put our heads together and we can design a best possible scenario for our grandchildren, for the people of 2100. But so long as they're still babies being born, I do think that we have a responsibility to not throw our hands up in this moment, to lean in, and to give those people, the people of 2100, of 2500, their best possible chance at surviving and hopefully thriving in a climate changed world.